hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very, very excited this new reading for the month of March that I'll be getting out. And I wanted to show you, I have here this thing around my neck because I still have the remnants of a cough from the flu. And it's okay, it's all right. And so what I'll be doing this month will be to lay the groundwork with my picture postcards that I've used before, as how I use the tarot, and with the same positions. Then I'll be highlighting one side of the spread with this lovely tarot of the obscure fables that helped, that really served me well last month for the February readings. And I'll be highlighting one half. The other half I'll be using excuse me, I'll be using the VERA SIBILLA cards. And this month I'll be taking the runes that were given to me. They're onyx, and they're very, very heavy. They're very heavy, so I use them sparingly, but they're very grounding. Let's go off to the readings. Oh, before I go, thank you, new subscribers, for joining me, and a big shout out to my old subscribers for sticking with me. It's a pleasure. On to the readings. Hi, ladies and gentlemen, Cancer. Let's see what's in store for you for the month of March. Let's see what's in store for Cancer for the month of March. Let's see what's in store for Cancer for the month of March. So let me show you these. This is Shamia at, can you see that? Yeah, Shamia at dusk in the Isle of Crete. These are Olive Trees by Vincent van Gogh. This is The Scream by Edward Munch. The Bagpiper by Blomert. And The Milkmaid by Vermeer. All right, now you come into the month, Cancer, and you, again, you know, this has been, the questioning has been similar, if I can remember, and I hope my memory doesn't fail me, because I'm feeling that you're again questioning yourself about loneliness, about being alone. Am I really alone? Is it just a figment of my imagination? Do I feel alone because I feel like I'm getting old? Do I feel like I have lost and not taken up occasions when I should have? Am I having this feeling of being, you know, you're questioning what it means to be alone and whether you are or not alone, because you're still not convinced of that, because you know there are family, you know there are friends, you know there are people around you, and even a significant other for those of you who do have one. But here you always ask yourself still, what is excuse me, what is it that makes me feel when I'm alone, and what is it that makes me feel when I'm not alone? Let me see if I can concoct a broth to make, you know, I can concoct my not being alone broth with a being alone broth and just drink it at will when I want. Try to make me understand that a little better. So you're trying to figure out what it is to be alone. What are the ingredients? What are the feelings that you have, and what it is not to be alone, and the actions you take. Here too, I've seen this in another reading, that you act very, very, it's a period, the period of March, where you are faithful to a fault. Now, when I say to a fault, is you're truthful with yourself, you're truthful with others, you're faithful to yourself, you're faithful to others, and in an earnest, you know, that word earnest really fits this reading. In earnest, you really feel the that if you act earnestly, then you will be rewarded. And so the way you go about things the month of March is by being quite honest with everyone and showing them your honesty in the hopes that they too will be honest with you. And it works. I see that it's starting to work. What you do get is more of the same. You get what you give in this sense in March in terms of how you act, others act with you. But now the environment around you is not as conducive to this type of action as you would like, because those around you tend to even question, what is this, a joke? What is he saying, or what is she saying? Surely, because they see a marked difference between how you were in the past and what you're doing now. Is he putting me on? Are they for real? So you have a difficult time. On the one hand, you do get back, all right, just as I said, you do get the same back. But the overall environment in some areas, not the closer friends or people who know you, but on the working, in your working environment, in those areas that you are less familiar with, people just, because many people are not used to feeling or hearing the truth, or having somebody confide in them very readily. And I'm talking about a situation where you're in the supermarket looking for some frozen vegetables, and there's someone next to you, and you turn around and say, I just met a woman today, and you just spilled it, and they'll look at you as if, this is the type. You feel like you should open up, but in situations that sometimes it won't be received well. And what's interesting is that how do you react emotionally? And it's a funny experience that I'm seeing here, Cancer. You're on a roll in the sense that I'm going to be me, I'm going to be the Cancer that I am, I'm going to be the typical Cancerian and just do whatever I want. If I want to shout to the skies that I love someone, I will do that. If I want to tell someone that they look hideous in those boots, I will. If I want to sing and dance in this supermarket, I will. Now, this occurs. These emotions occur more readily, this feeling, the freedom of acting as you want, more readily for those of you who are partnered, for those of you who have a significant others. You start to feel more comfortable with them. Now, the element of change in the month of March is in nurturing, how you nurture, how you feel nurtured, how you have your sense of home may change, may be modified. What makes you feel more comfortable is going to be reviewed by you in the month of March. Is it necessary for me to have my mom's painting hanging in the living room? Let me get that, move it, and put it somewhere else. Let me put something more stimulating to me that is not as emotional. Perhaps I will be more relaxed in my living. These are examples. And what is interesting about this notion of how you are considering, notoriously everyone says, oh, well, Cancer is a sign of the home. They're nurturers. But this element of nurturing is going to be reviewed. Am I doing the right thing with my children by coaching them to take one decision or another decision? Am I right in imposing my will or imposing my ideas on? And you're going to review that. It's quite interesting because you're taking a look at yourself, really, and not at others. You're more you're reflecting you and yourself. You're bouncing off of others at the same time, but you want the reflection toward yourself. You're looking at yourself through others' eyes, and it works in one way, but you know the impression, if you're ever on a set, on a movie set, and they have mirrors, and if the mirrors are just not positioned the right way, there could be endless reflection between them, and it makes for a very difficult filming process. The same here, feng shui, the same thing. If you have this battle of reflection, and you are caught in the middle, you have to be very careful about how you, if you're asking for reflection from someone else, it's like tennis, tick, 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 tick. If you go inwards, what emerges is something more complex and more profound. Now, I'm going to take the tarot here and see what they have to add by way of clarification of the actions you take and the environment that you are in and how people react to you. Okay, now I've got here the 5 of Cups, the Queen of Wands, and look at this beautiful, lovely World card. Okay, now let's start from the path, from the back. The World card is Saturn in Capricorn, so we're talking the end of the year, December 21st, January 20th. Now, bear with me. The 5 of Cups. The 5 of Cups is Mars in Scorpio now. We're still towards the end of the year. We're talking October 21st, November 20th, and that's the 5 of Wands. Sorry, the 5 of Wands. Did I say that? What did I? No, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. This is Saturn in Leo. The 5 of Wands is Saturn in Leo, but we're still down further down the line. We're in August, and then into September. So one more here. Then we have the wait. Now I'm laughing. I'm laughing because there are two suits, the Wands and the Cups, and I understand what I have just done because I have here 2 cards. One is a Queen of Wands, right? So we have the Queen of Wands, and this is water of fire, right? This is the emotional side to the story. Then we have the emotional card, which was B of Cups, which is the 5 of Cups, and they were bouncing off like those mirrors I mentioned, this 5 of Cups, and the 5 of Cups is the Sun in Scorpio. So what do we have? We have a very, very deep internal wrestling with yourself, which is going to be an excellent outcome in the end of the month. Why? Because what do you do here? You remember that we were talking about actions you took, and we were talking about the environment that those actions were in. You are in this maze, right? I'm going to call it a maze. And what we see is a very passionate, not very water-like Cancer who goes through life in the month of March to get answers about their loneliness. Are they? And you do so with the passion of the Queen of Wands here. Now, these all talk of towards the end of the year, Leo and the Capricorn card, the World. It goes further down the line. What you enact the month of March will have its ultimate will be blossoming towards those period. One is going to be about your personal life, about your romantic life. The other will be about your passions in relation to the work you do. And it seems to me the complexity of this is not lost on me, because I too am having difficulty in the reading, because I'm seeing you at the same time in your work environment. You want to have the passion, you want to play out the passions on your work environment, knowing full well that that's not the way to get out of your lonely state. But at the same time, you understand that there is a certain amount of reasoning that you have to go about, and the way you do it is the way I explained before. Let's just say, and we'll wait for the runes, let's just say that we have to have faith that it will then surface. Your idea of what loneliness is to you is not as lonely as you think. Let me take the Sibilla. Whew, I'm perspiring. I'm going to take the Sibilla on these two cards, the emotions and the change that you enact in the nurturing. You're revisiting your idea of nurturing. Now I see here the widower, Vedovo, and Imeneo, the nuptial dance, and here Legiritza, and it's very telling that the widower comes up, because it does put an end to a way that you have conceived of a relationship. No longer is the relationship man, woman, woman, woman come together, and they do so for a reason. Love, money, anything it could be. They have a mutual consent to entertain a relationship. You don't see that anymore based on sex. That is no longer in your mind when you think of being lonely or not lonely. It has nothing to do with a physical act, nor does it have anything to do with how you nurture them, how you nurture others, how you nurture your children. It's a very existential month in terms of you trying to understand where the ideas and the answers will be coming from. But what do we have here in both of these clarifications? We have the world and we have this nuptial dance, which is probably one of the best cards in that deck, is a coming together of you, the yin, yang, anima, animus, and you becoming again whole. And nurturing, the change in nurturing is a change in how you nurture yourself. Wow. Okay. Oh, exactly. Diag. It hits it on the head. Nurturing, it comes back to you. It comes back to you. Remember that. The Anzus Merkstave is telling you, Cancer, you would be wise to talk less to others and go more and think of you and what you do in order to feel either lonely or not lonely. It is a month that will propel you forward in a very fast way, and it's not exactly the month where you'll get all your answers though, Attala Merkstave, and it will be a month, the entire month, this is Pedro Merkstave, where you feel that you still don't understand. And the key, and this is what we have to come out of it, nurturing yourself is the key, and the answers will be very clear, very vivid for you towards the end of the year, towards Leo, towards the period of Capricorn. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, Cancer. What a difficult reading. Bye-bye. Till we read together again.